Okay, so here is the homework. Oh, what was that? So, basically, we're gonna learn how to add a light leak. Also, to learn what a light leak is. Then we're gonna add a grunge effect. That one, in terms of learning what it is, and there's no technical reason behind, no technical, I guess, basis behind it. Like for example, light leaks. There's a technical reason why that happens, or the vignette as well. But the grunge effect is more artistic, you could say. And then also to remind students to add their supplemental scenes. I'll discuss that later. I'll also discuss about if you're running into some issues with downloading the YouTube videos. Finally is creating the ink drop footage composition. All right. First off, the light leak, not too hard. It's pretty straightforward and you get a immediate result. The grunge effect is also a pretty immediate result. And also to create an animated texture loop, not create but to import it and use it, mess around with the settings for it, and or the animated scratch texture, okay? And then also to import a still image that will help to create a textured feel to your footage, your project. So that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna go over that now. All right, so this is where I left off. Okay, well, you need to first make a new folder called Lighting Effects. You're gonna put this folder in the same directory, okay? Then we're gonna go to my Google Drive link for that asset folder. Then you're gonna either download the specific asset folder or specific footages. We'll see. Then after you download it, those assets for the lighting effect, you're gonna grab it and you're gonna dump it into our lighting effects folder that we just made or are just about to make. Then you're gonna import the light leak footage into your project. Then you're gonna drag and drop it into the correct layer and set the blending mode. All right. So here I am. And again, if you haven't been keeping up to date, everything's on Moodle. Here's the front page, you could say, or whatever. And then it was over here, February 6th to February 12th. Direct link to the footage library. In case if you can't find it in your email, it's over here. It's been here all this time. Click it. Boom. And footage and assets main folder. Lighting effects footage. Double click. Light leaks. Double click. Here we are. Again, direct link to the footage library sends you here. Then you double click into here and then into here. here we are. So I'm going to experiment with several of them, like this one. Right click on it, download. Download. This one, right click on it, download. Scanning for viruses, download. This one, lens flare, nah, we don't need that. Burn light lens leak, right click on it, download. Boom. All of it's download. Next, I'm gonna go to my file explorer. For the Macs, what is it? There's a download, the download option as well. I mean, if you have a Mac, you should know this by now. Like seriously, if you have a Mac, if you're running off of a Mac. Anyway, mine is under downloads. I'm gonna select it. Right click, I'm gonna cut it. Or if you're on a Mac, you can either dump it to your desktop and then grab it and dump it back into your project directory folder. For example, my desktop is a mess, but I can grab it from my downloads. I can chuck it over here, boom, onto my desktop. All right, and then I can go to my external hard drive, which is where it's at. Everyone else, everybody is different in terms of where they put it, whether on their laptop or their computer at home. I don't know. That's your case scenario. Mine's on the external main folder, footage main. Okay, so I gotta make my folder. Right click, new folder. For the Macs, the right click may or may not work, but you know, if you're running a Mac on your own computer, you gotta know how to make your folders. Just you gotta make the folder and name it. If you do not know how to make a folder for the Mac, you have to YouTube it. So I made my folder. I need to name it lighting effects footage. Enter. Double click on it. So it's in my desktop. You can do the same thing on a Mac. You know, you could just under your download, you know, you grab it from your download section on your Mac. And I believe it was in the Finder. You go to the download section, you grab it, you chuck it to the desktop. From the desktop, you can dump it back into your lighting footage. If you don't know how to use the Mac, you know, drag and drop from folder to another folder to another folder. Most people should, but just in case, you can do it this way. All right, so you have your footages. Lighting effects footage, we did that. Good. There's only 3. Now I'm gonna go back into my After Effects. Double click in here. Or for whatever the hell reason, if it's not working, File, Import, File, or Control I. Or multiple files. Control Alt I. On the Macs, I believe it is Command Option I. Again, that's File. Now, main folder, footage main, lighting effects footage, that one I just made. I downloaded my footages. Let's grab all of it. import. And that's it. Let's experiment. Let me double click that. Probably brings this up, remember. Okay, so this is the LightLeaks. I'm just looking at the preview. Okay, interesting. Exit out from there. Alright, let's review. What is a light leak? Light leaks are more common for long exposure photography. That means that it's less likely you see them when using normal shutter speeds. If, however, you see them for all your images, that's an indication that your lens or camera is damaged. Alright, light leak. Wikipedia. A light leak is a hole or gap in the body of a camera or other optical instrument where light is able to leak into the normally light-tight chamber, exposing the film or sensor with extra light. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. So, like I said, there's reasons behind it happening, and they're, you know, looks like good reasons. Not good, but happy accident. You know, like this. You got that. You got these, you know, effects going on. You know, like that, like Instagram feel. Computer generated filters. See, light leak, and you can learn to fake it. All right. So, burn lens leak. Let's take a look. Oh, 23.976. It's the same one as my dialogue footage, so I don't have to worry. 1920 by 1080. It's full size. Alright, now I need to grab it. Left click and hold. Drag, drag, drag. I'm gonna place it on, I guess, on top of even the snow, or yeah, on top of the snow. Ooh. Right there. Left click, drag and drop. That's all it is. And make sure you put it underneath the letterbox and underneath the vignette. Why? Well, because if you go over here, right, and don't worry about this. Right now, the letterboxes are hiding it, or are clipping it, remember? Because it's on the layer system. Well, if you put it on top, boom, guess what? That happens. That's why you make sure you know where you're placing it. I would also put it underneath the vignette too, but on top of the snow. Now, I'm gonna just stretch this. I'm gonna pull that. I'm gonna zoom in on it. Zoom in on it. Yank this. Okay, so we just see this. Well, this is a perfect example and time to change the mode. If you don't see mode column, it's this. Or maybe, hold on. I'm trying to mimic a situation where you might not see it. Anyway, if you do not see mode or track or parent and link, it's this. Okay. So right now it's set to normal. Let's set it to add. Ooh. Again, that's over here under normal. Click it. You can set it to add. And look what that did. Ooh, that's horrible. Maybe I'm scrubbing through the timeline. And yeah. Maybe set it to lighten. Nope. Screen. Nope. Color dodge. Nope. Nope. Overlay. Okay. before, after. And if it's too strong, I can press T as in Tom. Could set it to 50%. Yeah, that's a bit much. Instead of full, I'm going to set to half. And half meaning half resolution or half quality, and press play. Yeah, this is a bit much. It's really distracting.
Went to a Greece seminar. Went to a Greece seminar.
Alright, so it is distracting. Maybe I'll set to what? 15%? See if that does anything.
Went to a Greece seminar. Went to a Greece seminar.
Then maybe I'll drag this. So, well, I only can drag up to here. We'll fix the loop though.
Went to a Greece seminar.
Yeah, that's no good. But this is why we experiment. Depending on your film, you know. So for this one, I might not want to use it. I could try to slow it down, but let's kill it for now. Let's try LightLeak. I'm gonna grab it and dump it. Alright, this one sets to 25 frames. And it's super long. Whoever made this. Alright, so right around here, LightLeak. Set it to add. Lighten. Ooh. Screen. Overlay. Soft light. Linear dodge? No. Use screen. Oh wait, what the hell did I just do? Oh, I clicked the wrong one. See that? Mistake. Sometimes the mouse cursor will move. Let me set my black solid back to normal. See? Grab the wrong one. Vignette. No. Oh, I even vignette. I did the wrong thing. See? I set it to linear dodge. That was a mistake. Gotta set it back to you could put it to multiply or put it to normal. Usually vignettes you put it to multiply, but you could put it to normal too, but let's leave that alone. You know what? Perfect example. Let's lock it. Lock. Good. Lock, lock. Now we can't move it by accident. You see that? Perfect time to lock these. Alright. So we learned a new set of tools to lock. Alright, LightLeak. We only want to manipulate that. Let me lock the snow too. LightLeak. Overlay. Add. Maybe I'll set to add for now, and then press T as in Tom. And then set it to 25%, so it's less noticeable. Now I'll try play it. Maybe I'll stretch it. I'll go over here. So up to maybe 7 seconds and press N as in Nancy. So that our our preview only plays up to 7 seconds. Alright, so it's processing.
Went to a Greece seminar in Casper. Went to a Greece seminar in Casper.
Alright, so I like that, but you know, for a dialogue scene, it distracts from the talking, you know, or maybe I can just set to what, 10%, so it's less noticeable. It's processing.
In Casper. Went to a Greece seminar in Casper. Went to a Grease seminar in Casper.
Alright, so it's a lot more subtle. I can start dragging this more, maybe, you know, up to 18 seconds so I can kind of feel it better. Processing, processing. See, it's processing. I believe Premiere doesn't have this issue. I mean, it's just the way it was designed and set up, but After Effects, this becomes an issue when you have tons of layers. Just, you know, for sake of information's sake.
Went to a Grease seminar in Casper. Did you know that? I don't know why. Just wanted the bad to go away.
Alright. So that's the light leak. I mean, depending on your shot, you know. So, I mean, I could use it, but I wanted to introduce it. I definitely use it for the other projects. Even the original winter scene that I showed, I definitely used it. But this one, you know, I kind of made it afterwards to show, you know, the same techniques but with different footage, you know, because before I used the gray, but now I'm using Wind River, so slightly different scenarios. This one's more, you know, dialogue, but yeah, but artistically, you know, still very valid to use it. Alright, so again, light leak, you can mess around with opacity, you could mess around with either add or whatnot, and then even luminosity. Oh, luminosity is kind of weak. Yeah, don't mess with luminosity. So yeah, the whole point is to experiment. Overlay. Here. What else is there? Oh wait, so it goes up to here. Up to there, see? But everything is cut off because there's no footage under the main dialogue. What you could do is, let's experiment. Alright, so it's processing, processing, processing.
Just wanted the bad to go away. Went to a Grease seminar in Casper. Did you know that?
So this is going a little bit off track. I do notice something where the footage right here, this is the main footage. These other guys, those are my secondary clips, like this one, this one, this one, this one. See, I'm just explaining what these guys are that are, you know, on top of my main one. Someone's bound to wonder about that. But in this one, the main scene, you know, as you can see, the lighting is kind of dull. And then when you add a light leak on top of it, well, let me turn that off. So here's the original footage without the light leak manipulating the lighting or the exposure or whatever. But if I turn it on, see, right? But it also darkens it, see? It kind of gives that burn effect. But what if I were to experiment, and this is good to teach, where I take my main footage and I make it brighter, okay? So my hunch is if I make this brighter, my light leaks will be less noticeable, but still there. That's my hunch. So, but even if it doesn't work, at least you learn new tools that are necessary in general, you know, which is manipulating the lighting or the exposure and whatnot. So I select this, I select it. The purpose is I'm gonna brighten up the footage. I'm gonna brighten the footage. How do you do that? I'm gonna introduce you to a new tool. By now it's under effects and presets right here. If you don't see it, Windows Workspace, reset default to saved layout. You do that, and this should all pop up. So what is this? Effects and presets, right? Well, basically, it's all the bells and whistles of what you can manipulate and change to your footage. Like it's After Effects, its arsenal of visual trickery, you could say. Like in Photoshop, it's basically like an adjustment layer in Photoshop. Let's go to color correction. That's the one. Click on that arrow, pop it open. You got this whole stuff. It's kind of gnarly. Well, first we select our Wind River, and I'm gonna apply a curves right here, or in here. All right, under effects and presets, you type in curves. Okay, and this pops up. Color correction curves. From here, you can select it, but you have to make sure you select your footage and then double click. And you notice this thing popped up. But what happened to my project panel? Well, if you click on that tab, here it is. You click on that tab, here that is. And it gets a little bit jarring, you know, when you're first learning. But what I like to do is you can yank it out. You can go over to this tab, right? This tab, left click and hold, and you can drag it out. See what I'm doing? You could put it here. You could put it here. You could put it here even. I'm just gonna, while I'm left clicking, dragging, and holding, I'm gonna put it here. And let go. Boom. Now I get to see my project panel and my effects panel, but I need to squeeze it out a bit. There you go. Alright, again, the way I do that is I select my footage in question, type in curves under effects and presets, double click. Yeah, now I made two, but I don't need it, so I'm going to delete it. And originally it was over here, right? Remember? And you can, like I said, grab it, yank it, grab it, and put it back. And if you don't see your project, or you only see your project, click on this arrow. Now you can choose. See? Anyway, I don't want to confuse some more, but literally grab the thing, dump it here. Now what? Well, since I applied my curves to my main footage in question, I'm gonna manipulate the brightness. So this thing, literally, you have to pull on this curve and it brighten it. See that? This FX means on, off, on, off, on. All I did was brighten the scene. Grabbing this, yank, blowing out, pull down, darken it. Yank, right there, just enough to brighten it. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on. And I applied it right on top of my footage. Super neat. So let's experiment. Remember, the whole point was that I brightened it so that it could match my light leak, so it would be less obvious. I'm going to turn it back on. Let me play spacebar.
I don't know why. Just wanted the bad to go away. Went to a Grease seminar in Casper.
I guess it didn't matter as much because the light leak will make it darker, regardless if I put the curves. But like I said, even though it didn't help much with the light leak, the curves is something you need to learn, and it's a perfect time to share it, you know, to make your scene brighter. Like, we don't realize that a scene is kind of dark until we apply the color adjustment, and boom. Already I like this. So much brighter than what the stock footage that I downloaded came as. Alright. Again, that's the effects control. Over here, effects and presets. Type in curves. Curves is under the color adjustment. If you know anything about Photoshop, extremely similar, literally. So there's that. The light leak. It's definitely useful for when introducing the aerial stock footage, you know, like the forest and the snow footage, the winter stock footage, not the movie but the winter, and then how it transitions into the movie that I showed. Alright, so I paused the video, and perfect example of the light leak, right? So and I talked about how the intro opening and this, right? And that this transitions into this, meaning the aerial footage of the forest and the winter scene. All right, this is a stock footage, which, yeah, you guys are gonna need this. This has to be the part of the homework too. Getting your winter stock footage. Yeah, I gotta discuss that. So, but if you notice, you see the color changing right here. See, that's the light leak and how useful it is. And the light leak is also on top of him, so it gives that nice textured colored variation. Right, here's the other one, and here's it again right here, and here's it again right here. So, and again, that's this.
Went to a Grease seminar in Casper.
Let me turn it back on.
Did you know that? I don't know why.
See? So that was light leak. And we used the burn lens leak, light leak. And then there's this one, purple, teal, purple light leaks. Let's experiment with that. I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna yank it, dump it underneath my letterbox, top bottom, and my vignette. I'm gonna kill my light leak, the other one. Like I said, it's all about experimenting. Ooh, look at that. I think this might have been the one that I used. Anyway, so I select it. Always make sure it's underneath properly. Let's set it to add. Ooh. Okay. And maybe I'll press T as in Tom. Set the opacity to 50%. Let's try it out. I'm gonna yank this over here, make it 30 seconds. Press spacebar. Processing, 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 processing. Now it starts to stutter. Stutter, stutter, stutter. I'm just explaining what's happening so you just can understand it. Now it's real time.
Went to a Greece seminar in Casper. Did you know that? I don't know why. Just wanted to bet.
So it's really obvious. They all set to 25% opacity. Now, see, it has to reprocess everything again. See that? So in this sense, this is good to share what this is and what is happening. When I was a student, I would just have no idea what the hell the computer was doing, you know, and you know, but it's good to know. Processing, boom, boom, boom. Processing, faster, faster. All right, now it's playing. Ooh.
The counselor came up to me after the seminar.
See, look at that. Now it matches more.
Went to a Greece seminar.
Yeah, I like this. Good. And we set it to 25%. So in that sense, it's very good that we did this. That, you know, we experimented, and who knows, this red, teal, purple light leak may or may not work for you. You know, that's why you can use the burn lens leak or the other light leak. So you have 3 choices to choose because everyone's is going to be slightly different in terms of you know, the choices you use. Yeah. So again, we experimented. I like add. I think I'll put up some more light leaks. I think I found some more. So you can have even more, you know, options instead of just 3. Right, so like I mentioned, the extra light leaks that I went through the trouble of finding for this exact situation where there's only 3 options is under new additional footage. Okay, again, same direct link, footage and assets main folder, the Google Drive, and new additional footage. I even put the date that I added it, double click it, light leaks in soft purple colors. Okay, there's that one. Light effect 9. What is this? Ooh. And this is good too, because this one is slow transitions, not like fast and just twitchy. See? Let's check out this one. Yeah, this one's a bit, this one is more like consistent, which could be useful. Might want to download this too. Very nice colors. It's like you're painting with colors and light. I'm going to download this. Right click, download. Alright, it's downloading. I'm going to pop open the folder. Here it is. Okay. And if you're on a PC, you can just grab it, drag and drop it into your external hard drive. It's Macs also is very similar. Or you could right click, copy. I'm not too sure if Macs will allow that, but for sure you can grab it, dump it into your external drive, see how it opens up into your main folder, and that opens up into your footage main. Ooh, look at that. And then light effects footage. Boom. And just dropped it in. Well, it copied and it dropped it in. Original is still under my download folder. Or you can grab it and you can put it to your desktop and then from your desktop, drag and drop it into your Light Effects. That I know for sure it works because I just did it at school with another school on the Mac, where you first dump it into the desktop and you re-dump it back into whatever folder you need to. So for a fact, that works for the Mac as well. Anyway, here it is. LightLeaks soft purple colors. Let's try that out. What I can do is, even from here, I can grab it and I can dump it here. Boom. These are all useful, ways of working in After Effects, or even in Photoshop or other design programs. Very similar. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to dump it on top. And I'm going to hide my original that I like already. But it's shorter, but who cares? Let's see what happens. I want to play up to here. So I'm going to press N as in Nancy to end it. So when it plays up to here. It doesn't literally end the clip, just the play blast, the preview. Alright, let's set it to add. Or maybe overlay. Overlay gives more of a burn look. Lighten. Nope. Screen. Alright. Soft light. See? Every situation is different. I like that. Let's set it to set T as in T as in Tom. Set it to 25%. Maybe 50%. Yeah, see that? This is nice too. Like one of those Instagram filters, but better. Processing.
Oh, why? Went to a
Oh,
Greece
very
seminar
pretty.
in Casper.
Very pretty. I like that a lot.
Oh, why? Went to a Greece seminar.
So, well, you notice that it's only this long. It's only 10 seconds, 11 seconds long. Whoever designed this only made it that long, but we can work around that. And it's a perfect example, and the reason why I also brought it in is that we can change it so it loops forever. And also, just to quickly remind, it's set to soft light, whereas previously we set it to add for the other one, remember? So it all varies, so you do have to experiment. Anyway, so 43 minutes, it's getting kind of long. I'm gonna select it and right click on it, time, enable time remapping. That is Control Alt T. On the Mac, I believe it is Command Option T, as in Tom. Alright, click it, and as you can see, it does that. Little keyframe here. Do not mess with that. For now, we're going to go review time remapping. The stopwatch, you press and hold the command, and you left click on it. Or PC, it's Alt and left click. Okay. So again, command, left click, or Alt and left click for the PC. Boom. Just ignore that. Time remap, type in loop, L-O-O-P, loop out. Double click. And do not press enter. Just click anywhere here. Boom. Now it's going to loop, but we need to stretch the film. Do not yank on the keyframe. Stretch, however long you need it to be. And there you have it. See? Beautiful colors. Let's play it.
Went to a Greece seminar in Casper, You know
Very
that?
pretty.
I don't know why. Went to a Grease seminar in Casper. You know that? I don't know why. Went to a Grease seminar in Casper. You know that? I don't know why. Went to a Grease seminar.
And let's see if you let me hide the snow for now. All right, and let me play it again. Processing,
Went to a Grease
playing.
seminar in Casper. You know that?
Well, I had a feeling the snow was getting in the
I
way.
don't know why.
Yeah.
Went to a Grease seminar in Casper. You know that? I don't know why.
So, very nice, very nice. And let's say you want the the color bleed to be slower, right? Well, you can see the keyframe here, right? If you stretch it and you pull it, it's gonna make it slower, or yeah, you could see it'll make it slower. It basically adds more, it duplicates frames to slow it down. Not to confuse you, but basically, let's experiment. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna stretch it, maybe like from here. This here is at the 11-second mark. Now if I make it to 12, so, or maybe 14, that means I stretched it by about 3 seconds. 3 seconds is about 75 frames I'm adding on. Just basically if you stretch it, all right? I'm gonna stretch it. I'm gonna grab it, hold shift, and damn it, snap it. So it went from here to here. I stretched it out. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I stretched it out. You saw that, right? Press spacebar. So technically, the color bleed should be slower.
I don't know why.
See? You could even tell right away. Less noticeable.
Went to a Grease seminar in Casper. You know that? I don't know why.
Much
Went to
better.
a Grease seminar in Casper. You know that? I don't know why.
You could barely notice it. So that's pretty much it. Where you, well, not it for the tutorials, but you know, the stretching it out. I stretched it out about 3 seconds longer. Don't go crazy and stretch it out massively. You know, maybe like 5 seconds you could stretch it out, you know, from where it is. Again, this guy right there, you know, right now it's set to seconds, minutes, and hours. If you press command and left click, no, god damn it, control left click, yeah, control left click sets it to frames. Control left click again sets it to seconds, minutes, and hours. Okay, so I stretched it out 4 seconds. Now just to drive it home, let's say I make it 16, up to 16, meaning stretching it more. Stretch. Okay, because before it was at 11 right here. So I stretched it by technically 5 seconds. From 11 seconds that it was before, I now stretch it out to 16. So I added 5 seconds. All this stuff, if you remember, is just when I did the time remapping and I made a loop forever, you know, infinity loop. Well, like I said, I need to stretch this out, remember? To stretch the infinity loop. This does not stretch the slowness of the effect. It only stretches how much of the footage you will see. I repeat, this stretches how the speed of the effect. Okay, I need to repeat that. Let's play it out. It should be definitely super not noticeable.
Went to a Greece seminar in Casper. Did you know that? I don't know why.
See?
Just wanted the bad to go away.
Look how much slower it is. You could barely notice it.
Went to a Greece seminar.
It's more artistic
Casper.
now.
Did you know that?
And so those are two powerful tools that I went over and over again, that I used for tons of my projects. And before I learned about it, I used to just repeat these ones that need to be looping. I just kept on repeating it, making tons of layers to fill up the scene when I was first learning, and I didn't know about this. So it is very, very useful, and you use it all the time, like a perfect example now. Now, the snow. Yeah, even the snow. So I turned the snow back on. Okay, I'm gonna throw away my other one, even though I kind of like it. I like this one too. The snow, I mentioned that it was too fast. Let me play it out now. Processing. It's going too fast. It's processing. Now it's real time. All right. So I noticed that the snow is distracting, and it's coming down really fast. You see that? Very, very distracting.
Did you know that?
Right? It throws everything off. Well, let me apply my stretching tool. This is its original start and end. Within that has the frame rate, how fast or slow things are moving. Like I said, if I stretch it from here, like say this much, so I stretched it about another 5 seconds, because right now, right here where it ended, 29 seconds. I stretched it to about, what, 36 seconds? So 35. So about 6 seconds I pulled and stretched. Let's see what happens now.
Go away. Went to a Greece seminar in Casper.
So it's a little slower, you see that? A little bit of a stutter,
I don't know why.
but better than before.
Just wanted the bad to go away. Went to a Greece seminar.
And then maybe there's too many of it, right? Well, I can rescale it. Press S, right? Scale it back up so it's less. You could even make it bigger, like 155, so you see less particles, you know? Or just make it 100. See, I set it back to 100, which is huge, right? So a lot of this is also training your eye, kind of see things and see what things work, see what things do not work. That whole process, which is extremely valuable in its own right.
Went to a Greece seminar in Casper.
Yeah, so it's more, a little bit more slower.
I don't know why. This one.
And maybe I'll set the opacity, T as in Tom, to maybe like 25%, less noticeable, or even 20%. Processing, and there we go.
Just wanted the bad to go away. Went to a Greece seminar in Casper. Did you know that? I don't know why. Just wanted the bad to go away. Went to a Grease seminar.
Alright, so there's that. Oh, also, if you want to see your keyframes, I taught this in class. You press U. U as in, I don't know, under or U, you know. And that pulls up the keyframes. Maybe I'll put some more. Like that much. Let's see how that looks. Processing.
Went to a Grease seminar.
See, slower.
You know that?
But it's kind of
I don't know why.
a little bit choppy too. But you know,
bad to go away.
maybe I'll press T as in Tom. Maybe set it to 10%. So it's barely noticeable. Like you just feel it rather than see it.
Just wanted the bad to go away.
Ah, there we go.
Went to a Grease seminar in Casper.
See,
You know that?
I just cranked the opacity down to 10% so you barely see it.
Just wanted the bad to go away.
So it's more of a texture feel, but you get the impression that it is snow.
You know that? I don't know why.
There we go. So you know it's fine tuning that even with less, you can still have an impact.
Went to a Grease seminar.
All right. So that made full use of the opacity and pressing U. Full use of the time remapping, stretching it out, and also juggling with the scale, where I use my judgment to make it bigger again, so that we see less of the particles. You know, before it was a whole lot of it. And yeah, so that was good. Next, the grunge. We're almost done. I want to add the grunge. Where is the grunge? 1 second. Where the hell is it? Right. All right. Textures for After Effects. Well, that one is it should be in the folder directory that you guys all downloaded. Textures for After Effects. Double click it. Okay. This one, grunge border effect. I use this one, and it should still work for this scene. I used it for the New York City scene. I use it for the gray intro scene. So again, textures for After Effects, footage main. Grab it, left click, hold and grab, drag it in here where it says, now it says copy. Boom. I'm gonna grab that. Let's see what's it about. All right, I got 29 frames per second. That doesn't really matter because it's what do you call that? It's more or less a static image. I'm gonna grab it, left click and grab and drag. I'm gonna put it underneath my vignette, but on top of my LightLeaks. And here it is. Oh, actually no, it is animated. See, you see those lines and the little like hair. So all these scratches. So this mimics damaged film footage. Yeah, it mimics damaged film footage. And I'm gonna turn off my vignette that we made, right? And it technically has a bit of a vignette over here, see? And also it has this noise. I guess I forgot what to call it. Well, film grain. They call it film grain, you know. And you got the scratch lines, the imperfections, and the artifacts. So it all adds to it. Again, here it is, grunge border effect. I dumped it in, and it's short. It's only about 10 seconds. But since we learned our new tools about time remapping, we're gonna apply it, and that's why I say it's a powerful tool, because you use it a lot. I mean, depending on the project, but just in general. Alright, so I have it selected. I put it right underneath the vignette. I'm gonna turn my vignette back on. There. Anyway, what I want to do, grunge effect. Let's set it to multiply. Boom. Very nice. You see that? Even the scratches, see? Hold on, spacebar, and look, look, look. You get to see the effect. Let me set this to full. Pull out a bit. Nice. You see his face? You get to see the textured feel and the background. See? Almost like an old cinematic movie. See how we're layering all of this together? I mean, if you're a film student and whatnot, this is good stuff. Regardless. There we go. Alright, so it's processing. It's slower because I have it set to full resolution.
Went to a Greece seminar.
Look at that.
Casper.
Sweet. Sweet, sweet. Yeah, see how much that did for us?
Just wanted the bad to go away. Went to a Greece seminar in Casper.
And that's how I did all my magic for like my demo reel and you know, project demonstrations. Just off of those. And you can make this yourself and tweak it. Just change the modes to get a different color feel and apply, like I said, you know, curves and change the original content. For example, I'll teach you about a S curve. You select your footage, right? And you have your curves, right? Remember, effects. And maybe I'll bring it here. See, make it brighter. Nice. Then you could see how it turns to the crossbar. See that? Click on that line. Now you can reverse it. Bring this back up. So you get more of a contrast. I mean, now it's kind of rough, but I'm just saying you could do that. You could kind of do that. If you want it. Or you could grab it and, oh, you don't want that. Or just undo it. Or reset it right here. Reset. Boom. And then boost it back up. Boom. Anyway, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, reversing the curve. Or you can also go into individual channels. For example, blue or red channel. And boost up the reds. Yeah, it's good I showed you this. See? And then this is not the LightLeaks. This is purely the footage itself. You can manipulate the reds, greens, and blues. See? Do that. And then you can go into the greens and make it more purple, or make it more green. Bring it up like that. and blue. You grab the blue. Ooh, but this here makes it bigger so you can see better, or huge. The blues, you could pull the blues down if you want, you know, and experiment, or bring it back up like high and it overwhelms everything else, or right here even. So you get your own color tone you want, you know. This is gold. Like, if you're an art student, whatever, like, this is good stuff. Even if you're not, I don't care. This is good stuff. All right, there we go. Very, very cool. Now it looks dramatically different. So there's that. Okay. And then, like I said, there's several other types of grunge. You know, I wanna urge you to try. There's like animated scratch. There's animated texture loop. You know, try it out. But there's this. You know, you could add on top of it. You know, hell, whatever. Let's try put animated scratch. Right? I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna chuck it underneath my grunge border effect. Look at that. And let's set it to multiply. Ew. Okay, not multiply. Let's set it to add. All right, there we go. Add. Or overlay. Nope. Lighten. All right, lighten. Okay. Versus add. Ew. Lighten. Okay. Let me turn it off. Okay. All right. It's more less. All right. See? Little things like that. Looks like film damage or lens damage. Could set it to screen. Okay. There's that too. All right. And then you could press T as in Tom. You could set it to what, 50%? Maybe 25%. Let's play it. I'm gonna set it to 10 seconds. Press N as in Nancy. Go back. So already it kind of looks like it could be distracting, right? Yeah, it's distracting. So I mean, this is good to show, and so we can analyze what works and what doesn't work. See how distracting it is? You know? And you could try to salvage it and set to 10. So this is a lot of process I go through. Alright, I was just checking something.
Went to a Grease seminar in Casper.
See, I set it to 10.
You know that?
You don't even you don't really see it. You more just feel it. You see that?
Grease seminar in Casper. You know that? Went to a Grease seminar.
See that? You don't see it anymore. You just feel it. See, barely see it. You could assume it feels like wind. See the lines? See? And it also makes the snow particle less noticeable. Yeah, so you can keep it and set to 10%. Set to screen. And if you really, really want to, you can mess around with the frame rate of it. meaning the time remapping. And you know what, I'm gonna do that because just, you know, to repetition, you select it, right click on it, time, enable time remapping, Control Alt T, or also known as Command Option T, right? And not only that, but you need to do it anyway because it's only this long. So I wanted to the footage to run the full length to here. Okay, so the footage is running that length. Again, it's not stretching the time, it's just making the footage that long. But now we need to do the infinity loop or endless loop. So Command left click, also known as Alt left click. You type in loop, right? Loop out. Double click. There. See? Now, see that? Here, I'll make it more obvious. 20%. See? %. See? All right. Then see how it ends here. If I stretch this, it's gonna make these scratches slower and less jarring and twitchy. So it's at 34 seconds. Let's make it add another 6 seconds to stretch it out right there. So I'm adding more to it. All right, space bar, processing. You know what, let me set to half.
Went to a Greece seminar.
Now it's glitching where it stops right there. This is good for me to share. It glitches and stops. Okay, now it's catching up. Just be mindful of that it happens.
Went to a Greece seminar.
Alright, so it is a little bit slower. I mean, I could probably add another 5 seconds, stretch it out more. After I stretch it out more, I could drop the opacity probably down to what, 20%. Now I'm gonna go back. Processing. You see the scratches.
Went to a Greece seminar in Casper. Did you know that? Went to a Greece seminar.
Yeah, it's still kind of noticeable. Maybe I'll set it to add another 5 frames. So I'm stretching out a lot to maybe like 15 seconds extra.
Went to a
See it?
Greece seminar in Casper. Did you know that?
It's still noticeable. Yeah, it's a little nuts. Maybe I'll set this to, I don't know, 15% in terms of opacity. Maybe make it less noticeable. You feel it more than you see it.
Went to a Greece seminar.
See that?
Casper.
Now the eyes,
You know that?
your eyes cannot track it and notice it as much.
Went to a
And maybe, you know, let me crank it to 55. So I stretch it out by what, 20 seconds now, which is a lot.
Went to a Greece seminar
There we go.
in Casper. Did you know that?
So I'm happy with that. So I stretched it by about 20 frames. And I'm gonna set my opacity down to like, I don't know, 12%.
Went to a grease seminar.
There we go.
Casper.
Just right.
Did you know that? Went to a grease seminar in Casper.
There. So that's pretty much it. Hour and 15 minutes. I'll leave it there. I mean, this alone is a lot. We are refining whatever tools we learned and practical application of it. Also learning about, you know, just seeing things visually. And I was showing you guys how I see things and how to catch things and what works, what doesn't work, the whole process, you know, which is valuable instead of me just telling you do this, do that. So again, grunge border effect we added. Let me turn off some of these things. We fine-tuned the snow. We made it slower and we made it bigger, so we see the particles where it's bigger, and so we see less of it in general. I pressed the opacity down low, that's a key point, down to just 10, and I did a time remapping where I stretched it out so it's slower. I think, what was it, 10 seconds or 6 seconds longer where I stretched it out. Also made sure to make the film roll longer. LightLeaks, we messed around with several different LightLeak types. We downloaded the other one, the soft purple ones that I like, and I stretched it out. You press U to show the time remapping keyframes, and I pulled it, stretched it about 6 seconds, or was it longer, maybe 10, not too sure. I set it to soft light, right? And opacity we set to 50%. You know, so you mess around and you kind of dictate what you want it. Then I added the animated, I added the grunge border effect. See? Off, on. Much better. Oh, I forgot one thing. It's only 10 seconds. We have to make it, the film roll, longer, so it covers the whole range of the film. What do? Select it, right click on it, time, enable time remapping, Control Alt T, also known as Command Option T, right? Do not grab the keyframe, grab the bar, so the footage is that long. And you don't have to mess with the time remapping for the grunge because it's not too fast and glitchy looking. So that one too, the grunge effect, massive upgrade. So we did that, and we just did a time remapping on it, and we stretched it out. The film roll as is, not the speed of it, just the film roll. Finally, we added an animated scratch. I was trying to find it. Come on, where are you? Oh, right there. Yeah, damn it. Right there. Animated scratches. Alright, so that's pretty much it. The animated scratches I had set to screen. You know, you can kind of choose. Number one thing also is the opacity. You know, set to like between, you know, 10 to what, 13%. No higher than 15, because after 15% is definitely noticeable and it throws everything off. Then press U just to see the time remapping. And this one I stretched it massively, about what, 20 seconds I stretched it. And to show whether it be seconds or frames, it's this guy right here. You press Control, left click to cycle between seconds and frames. And that's pretty much it. That should be everything. I think I'm gonna hold off on making the ink drop the ink drop thing. It's its own composition. It's more complicated, and this alone already is a lot. I mean, it took me an hour and 20 for me to teach it, to show it. So I'm thinking for students who are just learning, it'll probably take, I don't know, twice as long, maybe 3 times when you add up the mistakes and everything. So this should be a lot. I don't want to overwhelm the students. Okay, I think that's it for the homework. Oh, last thing. Add your secondary footage, your secondary clips. You know? Add your secondary clips. Like I said before, they're talking and they're grieving. And then I added, you know, I saw these clips where I'm like, wow, this is perfect. Where he can reflect about his daughter's passing. You know, several of these footages. So it takes creativity. And also, you have to watch. I recommend watching the movie to get inspiration and to get an idea of what the movie is about. You know, you can't write a book report if you don't read the freaking movie, right? It's the exact same thing. So I recommend watching the movie, whether it be The Gray or any other winter themed movie. Watch the movie, write down notes, timestamps of things you like about it that you want to share and communicate. Again, that's the reason why under the homework I said, you know, your chosen movie footage. And then I also said to explain why you chose that footage. You know, so you have to do that homework because everything leads into another. If you don't, you're just causing yourself, you know, your own booby traps and just to mess up. So yeah, that's the homework. I'm gonna process this. I'm gonna upload it, and I'm also gonna upload it to my YouTube channel because in case something goes down, the server goes down or whatever, it's always good to have a backup. And my YouTube channel, I'm gonna post it now. It's gonna be over here. Let me type it out. So over here, Digital Opus Creative, boom. Videos, no, playlist. Go to playlist, After Effects intro class. Right now I only have 1A and 2. I'm gonna put the video number 3 and video number 4. This one is video number 4, so you're gonna see 3 and 4 over here. And you could watch it here as well. And also you could also, you know, obviously speed it up or put on closed caption. And the quality, the gearbox, you know, 1080 HD or 2K 1440p. Yeah, so all bases are covered. And like I said, have your supplemental footage. I said in class, don't just grab one footage and dump it in and call it a day. That's not how it works. You need your secondary footage and to tell a story. That is required. It's part of the grades. So make sure to have that. Please have all this done by the time we come back, which is the 27th, I believe. So you got a lot of time. Even if you're catching up from the old homework, you know, there's still a lot of time. Whole entire week. Yeah. Alright, that's it. Like I said, if you have any questions, email me. And if it gets really technical, you can do a Zoom meeting. Or I could just make a quick tutorial, as long as you send me the file and whatnot. But watch the tutorials because they go through step by step, regardless whether Mac or PC. Alright, I guess that's about it. Bye.